So let's get straight to the calls. We'll talk to Sally. Hi, Sally.
Hello, good morning.
Hiya. So Sally is terrified of what?
Sharks.
Sharks.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
so how does it affect you?
I don't go in the sea. We live quite near the sea. My partner would love to go snorkeling and diving and things like that. I just can't go into the sea. I can paddle, that's about as far as it goes, but I'm terrified. I don't watch them on television. If they come on, I have to look away.
And what caused it? What was this? Have you seen a shark? Have you had a horrible experience?
Not with a shark, no. I don't know what caused it, but it's quite debilitating, you know.
right.
It stops me enjoying.
And could I ask you, Sally, is it only sharks? Is that it, or is it...
No, I'm frightened of other things, big things like whales and things like that, but it's mainly sharks.
So big things in the water, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so...
shark.
Okay, no one's born with any fear or phobia. So can I ask, when you were little, were you okay in water then?
Yes, I was. My dad had a little boat and we spent a lot of time on the water.
Okay, so what that would suggest is that something's happened. So can you think of any trauma based around water that might have happened to you?
I did have a nasty experience in Cornwall when my children were small. We were in a dinghy out on the sea and I wanted to go back to the beach, so I decided to get out and swim back.
Okay.
And I was a lot further out than I thought I was, and I could have got caught in a current, and it was a really terrifying experience.
Okay. Well,
Okay, and when you think about that, because you said anything big in the water, when you had that trauma and you jumped out of the dinghy, excuse me, did the ocean seem very big to you, trying to get back to the beach?
Yes, and the big expanse of ocean is actually another thing that terrifies me, that whole not being able to see land thing and stuff.
Okay, so essentially what you're saying is that in that moment you felt a trauma because you obviously jumped out of the dinghy for whatever reason and you're trying to swim back to the beach and it was a bigger expanse than you expected. So essentially in that moment you felt threatened, and in a moment when we have extreme fear, we make stock of what's going on around us and we've got to blame it so we don't get in that situation again. So it's like, what's causing this fear? And it sounds like that you blame the ocean, and then as a result of that, as time's gone on, anything that's big in the ocean, you blame that as well. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question here now. So when you're in that moment of absolute terror and you saw the big expanse of the ocean, you thought, I'm never going to make this to the beach.
Yeah.
What actually happened? Did you?
Eventually, I did, yes.
Okay, but you got to the beach and you got to the beach safely?
I did.
Okay, so when you consider that point of view, is it fair to blame sharks for something? Because sharks weren't even involved in this situation, or whales or boats or anything like that, because actually you felt threatened in that moment, but you did actually get there safely in the end, but you didn't actually absorb that and realise what had happened. Does that make sense?
It does.
So
yes.
you've been concentrating, Sally, on actually blaming the ocean and how big that felt and big things around water, as opposed to actually, we say, look, see it for what it is and not how it feels. And it felt traumatic. So the question is, you know, what did the water do? Did you get back safely, yes or no?
I did, yes, I did.
And your family were on the water, so if the water were dangerous, would you have allowed them to stay on the water?
No.
Okay. So, literally, I'd like to think about it now and question, you know, why have I blamed the water when the water did what?
I got back through it.
Okay, so the water did what, Sally?
Nothing.
Well done, that's exactly right.
And what did sharks do, Sally?
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm glad you're laughing. I can tell the change in your tonality of your voice. Does that feel different?
Like that before. It does feel different. I've never thought of it like that before.
Well, the great news is, if you've not thought of it like that before, then that means that you've got a different thought, so you're going to have a different experience. Keep us posted and let us know how you get on.
I'd love to see a photograph of you in the ocean.
Yeah.
Smiling.
We are waiting for that photo.
Well done, Sally.
Well done.
Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you, Sally.